Bob Huber Vintage Lambo. Now let's talk about something on the 350, and that is we're going to put a new seal in the back of this transmission. The transmission that's in this 350 is the Lamborghini transmission. So essentially this is coming out the back of the transmission. It slides, okay? And what we need to do is put in a seal in here, a new one, and we have a seal right here. But the problem is that you have to be super careful. And what I want to do is I want to be able to be super confident. And so what I'm going to do, thanks to McMaster having this in stock, I'm going to turn this piece of aluminum into the guide that's going to guide the seal in perfect. So with this length, I'm going to bore a hole, and I'm going to have it go through the shaft, and this rides in the shaft. So you have the shaft, and then you have the bearing that's on the outside. So I have to have this fit onto the shaft, but not be so large that it's going to affect the bearing at all. So that's what we're up to right now. And I know it's probably super confusing for me, and it must be for you. So we will clarify as I go along. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, just establishing, I'm going with my outside diameter that I want to keep, and I got this nice and flat. So I got a good datum. I'm going to just go and finish off this edge right there. I'll flip the tool, and then at that point, I won't have to take it out of the chuck again. Okay, so now that I faced off one end and I have the majority of the outside diameter all set up, when I put it in my chuck, I got real good support on the face of the chuck and the clamp. So now I don't need a center on this, and now I'll be able to drill my hole. So I've used several drill bits up to about 1 inch, and then I bored it out. So that's where we're standing right now. So I'll go to the next step. So I'm gonna work my way through this. So I've gotten to this point. Now this section is something that's going to ride on the shaft, the output shaft, and then also it's going to go through the roller bearing. And so I'm going to get good support. It is not a critical, I don't have this so it just fits in snug. I'm giving it, 5,000, 6,000 clearance, but I want to have a real good, real general sense that I'm pushing this seal in and it's going to go in straight. Okay, so now I'm setting up a relief so that no matter what, I'm only putting pressure on the outer portion of the seal where the steel is, so I don't bend the seal at all. So I'm just going to carry this out a little bit. I'm just going a little bit of depth, not too much, and then bring it out so that I do have an outer lip that will push the seal in and support it on the outer portion of the diameter. Okay, so we just want the seal just to stay in place, and so it's right like that. Okay, so it's pretty much ready to try out. Hopefully I have all the dimensions right, but I am going to, lighten up these edges in here and stuff like that. All right, we're back at the desk, and essentially I did do a little trial fit into it over the output shaft and make sure that I have clearance in here, which I have plenty. I don't want to be pounding on something and hitting that output shaft. And it slid on. I feel it has real good clearance, that I won't be binding on anything or anything like that, but I'll still have a good straight shot in on the seal. One of the things that I'm finding critical is because the transmission kind of goes up at an angle in the back. So when you're trying to put the seal in, you're kind of battling this to get it in straight. And so that could be the failure of some of these things on installation. And I'd have to be so careful and everything. I decided, you know, I really need to make a tool that is going to really help me out. And so that's why I have this extension on here, essentially an extra inch on here, so I can go into the shaft and then I can get some support. So again, I gave it plenty of depth so I won't hit the shaft. You see this right here? I only want to support the seal on the outside of it. I don't want to touch this inside at all. That might affect the seal, and there's no steel there. Steel is right out here, so that's what I'm going to press on. I do have this slightly smaller by 1 millimeter or so that when it goes in, this is not going to hang up or anything like that. And I don't know if you can really see on top of here. So I have it slightly smaller than this dimension. All those factors that I put in here, and I'm hoping it's going to work after I blah, blah, blah so much. Okay, well, let's get to the action. Okay, so here we go. I've got it set up here. Let's see how smooth this thing might go in. Your guess is as good as mine, I guess. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that it goes inside this. So you really need a good tool to get it to go in there. And I think it's looking really, really good. So pretty happy with that.